world that wants to tame me. You can't catch me on the run, cause I'm gone, yeah. I blaze trails, set fire to what's behind me. No, I'm never looking back, I'm on the run. I could only ever be what I'm made to be. It feels good when I'm living on the edge. Watch me now, roll like thunder, gonna sacred ground. Can't stop me now, I don't give up and I won't back down. I'm a force of nature, can't be contained. I got lightning running all through my veins. Watch me now, watch me now.
Hi, I'm Wyatt Milam. I'm from Canova, West Virginia. When I'm back home, you'll find me at my local Par-Mar store.
We have that gold and blue pride at your local Par-Mar store. We are coming to your neighborhood soon. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Maryland, we have you covered. Download the Par-Mar app and sign up for the Par-Mar Rewards Card. Food, gas, groceries, and more. We are gold and blue proud, and we are Par-Mar stores.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Law offices of Mark Plants and Kevin Davis. First line of defense. Buzzballs, ready-to-drink cocktails. #1 single-serve premixed brand in the U.S. Buzzballs, have a ball. And yes, Buzzballs have a ball as we are today. Welcome to the WolfMan's call. It's Friday. It's the game day breakdown the day before the game. So fired up about this. It's the Plants and Davis legal teams, right? It's the first line of defense. Your first line of defense. My first line of defense. Although, you know what? It's been a time or two I've certainly needed it. And I appreciate Mark Plants, former fullback of the Mountaineers, and he's just going out there and doing his thing. And Kevin P. Davis, legal, his collaborating partner. Well, I appreciate them and appreciate them sponsoring the game day breakdown. Of course, Par-Mar stores, you got Buzzballs, you got Arts and Grapes Company, you got Cover 2 Data, which we're about ready to get fired up. Hey, man, I tell you, I've been saying it for 2 weeks in a row. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Yep, I'm telling you. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show it to you as soon as I get Jeff Davies here to come on. A little bit of bad news. Kevin Koken, though he's fine overall, has had a bad day. Not feeling totally 100% or not even probably 50, knowing Coke, because he would be here. That's one tough son of a gun, so we wish him the best. Get healthy, Coke, real soon. And we're going to miss your breakdown today, but that's okay because we just improvise and we keep going and we moving and we got a great show for you. So let's go to Kelly McCourt. What's up? Yep. All right, Kelly, how you doing? Very good. And what else you got for me, buddy? West Virginia Mountaineers beat TCU Horned Frogs. What is a horned frog? I don't know. Maybe Jeff Davies will know. Let's go ahead and ask him. Hello, Jeff Davies. How you doing today?
What's up, Wolfman? Good to see you again. How are you?
All right. This is becoming cool. Every Friday, man, hanging out. Go ahead, getting the numbers in, get my numbers fixed that it's turning into here. And do you know what a horned frog is? You're Texas.
I have no idea. Yeah, I am in Texas, but I do not know what a horned frog is. So I'm as curious as you are, to be honest with you.
By the way, Houston, how far away is that from Fort Worth? Is that 4 hours?
Yeah, it's about 4 hours. Yep.
All right.
Straight up 45, basically.
I'll tell you, Texas, man, pretty amazing. You're a Syracuse guy, but you ended up in Texas. My son just drove through Texas, and I'll tell you, that stage just never stops, man.
Yeah, never be a half day, full day drive just to get from east to west down here for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. And when you think about that, you say, "Hey, I'm from Texas Tech," and you got Houston, you got Baylor, you got TCU, you have Texas, all these schools, all before Lubbock, Texas. I mean, that's gonna be tough, man. I mean, that's a long drive, right?
People love their football. They love their football teams down here, just like they do in other parts of the country. But it's the real deal. The Friday night lights thing is serious. My kids go to a 6A high school, the biggest high school, right? So it's the real deal when those teams play. Matthew Golden, who's now at Houston, he was on our squad, a running back at Texas. So you see, some serious players just going to local high school games.
It's funny because Dana, obviously his brother is a coach at, I think he still is, is Katy High School down there right in Houston, right?
Yep.
Are you familiar with that school?
Yeah. My son plays basketball. We actually play Katy this weekend in a fall tournament. So, yeah.
How are they in basketball? Are they as good basketball as they are in football?
Like most districts down here, there's a number of schools. We play what's called Katy Jordan. For example, my son's high school district has 5 high schools, right? So Katy's a big district. They're good at all sports. One of the schools. And you're talking high schools that graduate 1,000 kids per class too, right?
Oh man, that's absolutely fantastic. I love that. I'm from Buffalo. We had a big Orchard Park High School right where the Buffalo Bills play. It was a nice size school, but man, it was nothing like they got down in Texas, man. That absolutely amazes me. And no wonder why they have so many great players that come out of the state, and they invest in it as well. Being, you have spring football down there, up in Buffalo or even here in West Virginia. There's not much of that going on. So,
and I would add to that too. At a young age, flag football is really big down here, right? So you get kids, kind of the quarterback, receiver, running back types, playing that at a very early age, and then they go into tackle as well. But it's a year-round thing down here as well. And the other thing that's interesting down here, if you're in high school sports, unless you're one of the best athletes, most kids very early on are forced into one sport. I don't agree with it, but that's kind of what's happening down here. It's tough to play multiple sports because it's really year-round these days.
That's so interesting you say that, and maybe it's good because Texas, they're doing it all year long, and they're so into it. But when you go up to the northern schools like West Virginia or Buffalo, I'm in New York State, and the coaches like when you play all 3 different sports, because what you do, and I actually had Neil Brown explain this to me, and he told me, he said, listen, you use different muscles for different sports. Baseball is different, basketball, wrestling, whatever it may be. And that they really transform the overall body athletically. So I'm a big fan of, when I was a 3-sport, I was a 4-sport. They brought me into a track just to throw the shot put, right? I mean, I played lacrosse in the spring, and they brought me up because, the only time you can run track in New York is the spring, summertime, because it gets too cold otherwise. But regardless, all right, enough of my days, enough of my rambling. Let's get at it, man. And this is what I wanted to show you from last week. As you can see here, I'm going to blow this baby up a little bit. Jeff, I got Penn State, I had Tennessee, and I had Northwestern. And Northwestern made a big comeback there. But you can see this is all what you did on that for the numbers for success rates. And parlay 3, man, check this out. It's right here, man. You can see it for yourself. Northwestern 11.5, Penn State 14.5, and Tennessee 21. Went with it. Those are all big numbers to actually go against. But I mean, that's what you had, and you had it up there. So again, that's 2 weeks in a row at the parlay 3 came out to be winner chicken dinner, man. So
love to see it. Love to see it. Yeah, I mean, and what you showed there, typically the numbers above the line or the teams above the line there, we like. The teams below, we don't like when it comes to lines, and we do a similar thing for the over-unders as well on this. So, you just brought up this week. Let me just do a quick refresher, right, for success rate. And we're looking at what we call net success rate. So comparing the offense, defense for a team, how efficient your offense versus your defense, and comparing them across teams versus the lines, basically. Success rate, super quick, that is what percentage of plays do you get at least 50% yards on first down, 70% of remaining yards on second down, and the first down on third down or fourth down, and you track that offensively and defensively. So what I highlighted there is what I look for in these things is where do games stick out, not only on this slide, but also on the next one. So one game that I like this week is Kansas. They're getting a whole bunch of points from Texas. And if you go to the next slide, they not only stand out on the success rates, but the next one also in offensive PPA. Again, this is kind of net offense versus defense, really. So it's in PPA is you can, using statistics, say how many yards should you get based on the down distance and yard line that you're on versus what was actually achieved, and start to calculate, are you exceeding kind of or below what you should be getting, and compare players and compare teams that way.
All right.
This sticks out here also. Again, so this is all done relative versus lines. And what I would note too on this, if any of your listeners who watched us last few weeks, the data seems to be getting better because it's more, it's all closer to line, basically. Like the last few weeks, there was dots that were kind of really standing out. Everything, as the data gets better and better, should kind of get closer together, basically, and we're seeing that there. So,
all right. Well, the numbers prove that they are in line.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And then this is kind of a similar way that we look at, the over-unders, comparing the explosiveness and efficiency of the two offenses, and kind of just looking at that versus the over-unders, and, the stuff below the line, you should theoretically take the under, and the stuff above the line, take the over.
Oh, that's really cool. So under, all right. I make sure I was thinking something a little bit different. All right, very cool. You know what? I am definitely going to check that out this week as well. Okay, so
we'll go by conference here, and then just kind of all these conference sheets are doing are highlighting the games that we'll talk about, the one-pagers games that we like this week. So there's typically, when we do this, right, 3 or 4 per conference. I will say, we're getting into the bye weeks, right? So like there's 4 teams with byes in the ACC. I think the SEC's got a pretty full slate. And then, each conference got a couple byes this week. But what we're doing here is just looking at the lines relative to these kind of, success rates and PPAs as well. If you just want to kind of flip through the next one, only really like one game in the Big Ten this week. And it's kind of just, I'll just hit on that one real quick. There's not a lot to like about Michigan State. Both those teams are absolutely horrible offensively. But I've never seen it really, kind of 37 points is such a low over-under. I'm going to take the over on that one, quite frankly.
All right.
37, and it's, the stats line up that you should, but that's about the lowest I've ever seen in my lifetime, to be honest with you. So we'll see what happens there. The next one, going to talk about 4 games in the Big 12. If we just want to flip through these, got 3 in the Pac-12 and then 3 in the SEC.
All righty. Well, you can see this, and you can have this. Just want everybody to be able to see that, or they want to go back to this and look at it. But all right, so we're going to start off here with Boston College, and Boston College -3.
Yeah, Boston College -3. It doesn't really stand out to take the line here, but it does look like, both of these teams, if you look at success rate on this, and I should have highlighted this, but I'll read it off, 40% success rate offensively for Boston College. 34% for Virginia. 34 is about as low as you'll see for anybody. Maybe we'll see lower on Iowa. Good success rate is kind of really good, is in 55-ish%.
Right.
The good teams are all in that kind of 50 handle. So, you have 2 really bad, offensive teams. Defensively, they're not good either. They're really kind of, but average at least, right? So 55 at the over-under. This stands out on the way that we look at things. Take the under on this one.
Yeah, because Virginia last week, boy, I tell you, NC State really sucked it up. I was like, I'm pissed at Gibby. Tony Gibson, I'm pissed at you, Gibby, because there's no way that they were 3 points better than Virginia, the way Virginia's been playing. So
yeah, Virginia looked better though last week. Though that game did surprise me. The kind of score surprised me, but I don't know if that was just a 1 week thing. But because they couldn't stop anybody for a while, right? So
no, they couldn't. So NC State pulled it out They got lucky. All right, now we got Duke here.
Yeah, Duke Notre Dame, this should be a great game. And a complete opposite of what we just saw in the last one. You got 51% and 54% success rates offensively, right? So again, if you flip back, it's basically the same line with two teams that are, kind of much better offensively, or same over under, excuse me. So, take the over here. Again, like the taking a spread doesn't really stick out here. My gut says, this is a close game, quite frankly. So Duke getting 5.5 at home. If I had to take one, I'd take Duke on that. They look really good running the ball, really good. But I like just the over here. I don't really like taking the game.
Yeah, I like the over for sure. I'm gonna go Duke 5.5, 5.5 at home. I'm gonna see. We'll see about that. Not sure. I'm not positive about that, but
don't have Notre Dame anywhere else in here. You want to talk about brutal loss, right? So we'll see if they can bounce back mentally after that. To have 10 dudes on the field, I don't know if you talked about that. Just that blows my mind. So you're gonna have to really get those kids fired back up after that one.
Well, you got to get your staff and say, "What are you doing? You guys are making me look bad as the HC, man. You're making me look bad. Unbelievable." All right, here we go. Louisville. What do we got here? Louisville and NC State. All right, you got Louisville and the over. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, look at we should throw the logos on there to highlight who's better in each statistic. You have Louisville really across the board in 99% of them or 90% of them. Again, speaking on an offensive success rate, you got 55% for Louisville. I think it's flying under the radar. They got the best running back in college right now, Jawar Jordan. He's just putting up ridiculous numbers, right? So, they're putting a lot of points on the board. They're scoring easily. They're explosive, high PPA rate at Louisville too. So I just think they're, much more explosive than NC State. So, kind of given 3, I'll take Louisville there. And I think they put up, I think it's going to be tough to stop them from putting up 35 points, but NC State can put up, 25 themselves. I think it's kind of a 35-25 game. So I'll take the over there as well.
I think that's a good bet. I really do. I do. All right. We got the Cuse now. Cuse let you down. You were talking about it a little bit last week.
They did. I mean, again, like they won. They keep winning, of course, but lost both of those on the over and the. Now the thing again that doesn't stand out to the data, just to hit on our process and maybe things that miss, and just to remind folks, hey, this is just one input in your entire kind of mosaic of how you think about games and what you've seen with your eyeballs and typical stats. But, the way Army plays, they hold the ball. They came out against Syracuse and, put up a 9.5-minute drive, the very first drive of the game, right? So it was going to be tough always to have an over of, I think it was about 55 points last week. And again, that little kind of nugget of information, had I thought that through instead of just relying on this data, maybe changes the way I thought about things. And that's how everybody should think about it, right?
Rob, it's a great point. I know this, that, this right here with the Clemson and taking the over, I think that's pretty easy. I think that's really smart. That's really easy. I'll tell you, 7 in Syracuse. I don't know, man. I don't know. You think they're gonna be a little bit, stung there from Florida State? Well, I mean, what do you think?
I mean, I think they are, but I think Syracuse is really good, and I can't say enough good things about Garrett Schrader. I don't know if there's anybody in the country, and I'm not just saying that as a Syracuse guy. Look at the numbers. He's top 10 to 15 in not only passing stuff, but all but on the ground too, right? He's number 2 running quarterback in the country right now. The guy's tough too, right? 6'4", 230. He'll go get yards any way you need to get him. And, their receiving core stepped up. They got a really good running back. So I think they're going to be tough to stop offensively from putting up 28, 35 points, right? And I think their defense is really good. Syracuse is top 10 nationally, offensively and defensively. again, gun to my head, I take Syracuse. It just doesn't stand out statistically is the only reason I'm not, kind of.
Well,
every time I make a gut call, I've been wrong this year. So I'm going to stop.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's not be timid now. We'll go ahead and continue. I will say this. Not many people know this, but playing in the Dome is extremely difficult. And for opposing teams that are not used to playing inside, I remember playing in the Dome. I played there twice. And both times, my shoes were full of sweat. It just, I never sweat so much. It could have been 100 degrees in Miami, but I never sweat as much as I did in the Dome at Syracuse. That's
King, it's crazy. It's not even sold out yet. I mean, it's about 50,000 people. The funny thing is, it used to be the Carrier Dome, an air conditioning company, and they had no air conditioning in there, so it was hot as hell. They've changed that recently, but yeah, you get hot in there. Games this time of year where it's still warm out, it could be brutal in there for sure. But I mean, listen, I think Syracuse wins this game. Like I said, it just doesn't stand out to me statistically.
No, absolutely. I got you. I will say this too, though, just so you know, is that back in the day when I played, they were still out smoking in the Dome. So when you looked up at the top of the roof, you couldn't see it because it was all smoke.
Crazy
from cigarettes.
That's crazy. Man.
That was back in the 80s, man. All right, here we go. What do we got? We got Iowa and
well, like I said, both of these teams are, again, this stands out barely, right? I mean, look at the success rate here: 35%, 43%. Two really inefficient offenses. The PPA is, for Iowa, that's it's almost zero, right? Like they almost have no explosiveness at all. Yeah. So these are two really bad teams, but again, this is kind of a gutty call where they're bad enough that they're going to have a 25-20 game, right? Put up 45 points.
I like the bet. I like it.
36.5 over is about as low as you'll ever see. Right?
That's 3 touchdowns apiece when you blow by it. All right. Even what? So you're 36. If you get 21, you're talking about 21-15, 21-14, and you're right there. So yeah. All right. I got you. I like it.
I mean, and I don't know if the Iowa coach has in his contract, he's got to score a certain number of points this season.
No, Kirk Ferguson
fired. Yeah.
He might be getting a little nervous.
No, he's motivated to put points up against bad team. If Michigan State's that bad too.
Well, there you go. You're right. He will put it on when he needs to put it on if he can. Okay, so we got Baylor here and UCF. This is interesting to me, although it's not as interesting with Baylor in the last month.
Yeah, I mean, again, you look at kind of the logos. This is UCF across the board. 3-1 team, 1-3 team. Obviously, Baylor should be getting points here. It's away. You look at just kind of the difference in net success rates, right? Like UCF is 20 points better than Baylor as far as their kind of offense versus defense efficiency. Yeah, that's a huge difference. Baylor's offense only has a 38% success rate versus UCF's offense in the low 50s. UCF defense better than Baylor defense. It just feels like this could turn into a kind of 20 point game.
It looks good to me. I would take UCF. I would.
So next one, what do we got here? Cincinnati, BYU. This one again just statistically stands out. If we go back to those first two slides, stands out on both metrics. I think BYU is going to be tough at home. Again, kind of motivated to win this game, but again, this is one that stands out on the data that Cincinnati should not only cover, but they should win this game. So we'll see what happens.
You gotta take Cincy. Okay. Yeah, hey, I've got to tell you something, man. That Oklahoma game, that was a crock. All right, because Oklahoma, where have you been, or where'd you go? Maybe I should say, and that whole Cincy thing. And I don't know. I don't think they showed up. I think they looked at the 35,000 seat stadium over in Cincinnati first time. I think they've been there at Oklahoma, and they just were not ready to go, man, because that offense wasn't clicking, and that defense is okay, but Pitt scored 21 points against that defense.
Yeah, that was my big bet last week, the over, I believe, and that was the one that I really liked. I was really surprised by that score last week.
Yeah, I would. Don't worry, I was right there with you. I'm going to say this: BYU's getting 2.5 at home. All right, I don't like 2.5. It's a field goal.
They're giving 2.5. They're giving 2.5.
Giving 2.5. All right. So since you think they're going to cover it, all right. I'm going to go. I'm going to go BYU. I'm going to go a little bit different.
I respect that.
It's close. It's close. Yeah. It's hard to win there, man. I mean, that's a different air atmosphere. It's higher, and you know what I mean. It's tough.
Our game's tonight, I guess, too. So we'll see.
Is it night? Yeah. All right. Well, those crazy Mormons out there, man, they're wild.
I'm actually married to a Mormon, so.
Well, there you go. They love their BYU. Love their BYU, man. I tell you what, I had a whole bunch of guys that are Mormons that are on my coaching staff in Phoenix College. They love football, man. They really do. Really good. All right, we'll continue on. Houston, getting what? Texas Tech. You like the under? You have, Shop's going to be out for the year. All right. And under 51.5. Well,
I mean, again, kind of it just doesn't look like two very good offenses, both, in the low 40s. And like you said, this was before Texas Tech lost their, QB1, right? So it just, again, it's surprising to me how bad Houston is this year. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. It's like I said, there's kids that I follow on the team that I know. So I follow the team and watch some of the games. They just don't look good offensively. So again, this one kind of stands out statistically that based on the low explosiveness, based on the low success rate of these two offenses, looks like you should take the under here.
I mean, Houston has put up like 15, 16 points a game. Dana Holgerson, where did you go? I mean, my man who knew how to score points. He didn't know how to go ahead and get that defense fired up and ready to roll. But boy, he could lay some points out there. So that's very surprising to me. But I agree with you now. And if Texas Tech plays anything like they played against West Virginia, the unders are a good bet. Unders are a good bet.
Yeah. So next one we got Kansas. This is probably the one I like the best here. Mm-hmm. Kansas getting 17 points. It's at Texas. But
how can they do that?
What's that?
How can Kansas get 17 points?
That's where it's at, my man.
They're 4-0. They're 4-0 with probably the most difficult offense to stop, to figure out with all their misdirection. All right, I'm going on my own thoughts right there, man. But go ahead, continue on.
I mean, you just hit the I'm Googling it. Yes, 16.5 at another place. So I just wanted to double check. We're in the right zip code here. So I mean, Kansas's offense looks incredible, right? Like they're better offensively across the board than Texas, more explosive. You want to talk about a success rate? They're 56% success rate, right? And they are 61% success passing the ball. That's as good as you're going to see from anybody. So with these types of offensive numbers, giving them 17 points, I'm going to take that all day long, twice on Sunday. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'll make that bet every single time.
Oh, me too. And, they voted Jalen Daniels to be the MVP of the offense in the Big 12. And then they voted him to finish like 10th in the conference, which the two never jive together. You can't have a quarterback that's going to be your MVP and then finish 10th. They're 4-0. They're for real. And they got a for real coach there. And I like Texas too as the team this year, but not 17. And, they are away, but it doesn't matter. 17, I'll take Jalen Daniels anytime with that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, statistically, they look pretty close, right?
They do.
And comparing offensive versus defense, comparing the two, they're pretty darn close. Kansas is actually slightly better, right, than Texas when you compare the two nets. And Kansas across the board is better offensively. So, man, 17.
Yeah. And Alabama was not playing well. So that was a sample against a team that was not clicking at that time. I think they're starting to move Alabama, starting to move in the right direction. But I think in that game, they were not clicking. And I think Texas took good advantage of that.
Yeah. So that's an interesting one to me. That's the one that And again, I highlighted it, if you recall too. It stands out on both of our charts, on both of our regressions there. So next one's WVU.
What are you going to tell me? What are you going to tell me?
I'm taking WVU here. It's West Virginia's better if you look at kind of net success rates. I'll remind everybody that's listened, we didn't get the Penn State advanced data. But we have every other game that, the defense looks good in the last 3 games. They're running the ball, so, I'm not suggesting they win the game, but I think they keep it within, 11 and a half, I think is where I stand. Or excuse me, 11. I'm looking at just the kind of normal stats. I'm sure you know this stuff. I mean, 350 yards a game, right? That's not great offensively, but, kind of 190 yards per game rushing. They're not, again, kind of not getting many penalties. They're
disciplined, man. They're disciplined this year.
Turnovers per game isn't really standing out, right? So they're not turning the ball over. They're not getting penalties, a couple rushing touchdowns a game. So, it seems like a team that, is doing the right things and they can keep it within 11 and a half points. And again, I haven't watched a lot of the games, but just off of those stats, that's where I'm coming from.
All right. I'm telling you, this is the game. The defense. Is the defense for real or not? We're going to find out this weekend, because you can go ahead and say, listen, Penn State showed up. You get the other games. They had 3 straight home games, I'd say, against teams that were not up to par at that time. So they have played very well. Is it skewed or not? The big question tomorrow, we will find out starting about 8 o'clock Eastern time. I believe it's 7 o'clock your time, buddy. So we'll see that. I won't give my prediction until the end of the show. I gotta hold on. I gotta, have a little bit of drama in this, a little bit of excitement.
I love it. This is good reminder too that as we get more data, the data should show kind of give us deeper analysis, really, right? Like I'd love to have that Penn State game in there, and we might know more about how real things are, so to speak. But
yeah, no, you're right.
Like you said, this TCU game, we'll see how these numbers change next week, right? Yeah. The numbers look really good after kind of the last 3 games that we have data on.
All right.
So jump into the Pac-12, Arizona, Washington. Again, this is one my gut says, Washington's playing really good. They're putting a ton of points up. 17 and a half is something they certainly could cover. But statistically, this one stands out that, Arizona is actually, slightly better on a net success rate, slightly worse on the PPA kind of comparison. But, they look pretty good offensively, 54% success rate versus 57%. And they're actually slightly better on defense, right? So, with those kind of variables in there, and I'd remind people it doesn't take into account strength of schedule, but, statistically, they're pretty darn equal. So that 17.5 point looks like a big spread there. So we're taking Arizona here.
I think that's tough. I think I might. Well, boy, I tell you, it's tough. I'm right in the middle of that one right there, and I'm thinking that over under. And you know what? I'm gonna go with the under, and I'm gonna go with you in Arizona. That's what I'm gonna do. Under in Arizona. Cool. Yeah, making a call, man. I think that's tough. I don't think
I haven't watched a lot of Arizona, but and again, I think it was a pretty close game versus Stanford last week. Who isn't very good, but
they won.
The numbers are what they are, so we got to have conviction in them. So we'll see what happens.
There you go. Now let's go Colorado, man. What are we talking about here? USC.
Yeah, I mean, jumping off the Dion train. No longer prime time. Now it's sub-prime time, right? So, so I mean, I just think like the depth of the team, you'll start to see that kind of catch up to them.
Wear down.
They're going to wear down throughout the season. I think he continues to, put a target on his back and those types of things. So, statistically, USC looks good here. Of course, right across the board, better in every statistic. and just it stands out as well that the spread should be more than 21.5. So this to me kind of feels like a 45-14 game or something like that.
Well, I think you might be right, but I hear there's a whole bunch of A-list celebrities going to be there. Dian's still bringing them all in, man. I'm surprised Taylor Swift's not going to be there and Kelsey, right? But I guess they got something else going on.
I mean, you got to love what he's done for the game, right? Like, I love what Dian's done for the game, and obviously he kind of.
But you're jumping off the trade. You are.
I mean, I don't know that I am, but I mean, I just like I said, statistically this looks like a good bet. USC is putting up a ton of points. Super explosive team. 57 is the best success rate I've talked about so far. Probably going to be the highest that we'll see, right? So offensively, they're just kind of crushing it. So and I mean, Colorado's defense isn't good, right? Colorado can't run the ball. Their rushing success rate's 38%, and they only run it 32% of the time, right? So they're throwing the ball 2/3 of the time, and that's great if you can kind of sustain drives and put points up on the board, but it really wears your defense down and leads to blowouts if you're not, right?
Yeah, and you're still missing your best player on offense and defense. So again, adds to the issues. I go with USC and 21.5. All right, Oregon.
Another big spread here, right? Again, kind of similar story to what we just talked about with USC. I mean, they were 57%, Oregon's 56%. So, two of the best offenses in the country statistically, also super explosive. 27 points. I mean, I watched a little bit of Stanford last week. They just don't look like a good team. It's a huge spread, but I just think Oregon is kind of fired up to just go kind of put their name on the map and start just keep killing teams basically. So I see this as
no letdown after last week's big.
Yeah. I see this as like a 50-point game, quite frankly.
All right.
I mean, Stanford's offense, just to hit on one of our statistics, havoc rate is basically what percentage of plays do you give up tackles for losses, or throwing the ball in coverage, tip passes, interceptions, sacks. And Stanford's offense is at 28%, right? So their offense is giving up all of that stuff over a quarter of their plays, right? So doing that against a really good offense is going to be tough to say.
So that equates the 28 is over 25% of their plays. They're going negative. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a big statement right there that it says. All right. You know what? I'd take Oregon as well against Stanford. Kentucky, Florida. You got to go Florida.
Yeah. Kind of Florida here. Just stands out statistically. These teams are really even, but Florida's better on a success rate basis, right? So, Florida's getting points surprises me. Kentucky is the 4-0 team. And Kentucky is the home team, but if you look at the success rates, just doesn't make a lot of sense. I haven't seen Kentucky play. I've watched Florida, so this is kind of a blind play. I do try to catch a little bit of all teams, of course, but I haven't seen Kentucky play at all. But statistically, I'm taking Florida here.
All right.
All right, next one we'll go under on the Missouri Vanderbilt. Not much there to say. It just stands out. It's kind of the most under the line game on our over-under regression. So that one kind of sticks out to take the under on that. It's 56 points. Neither of those two teams, you get kind of 42% success rate, 48%. Not great offenses, so we'll take the under there.
All right.
Ole Miss, LSU. We're going to take Ole Miss. Had this one wrong last week, taking Ole Miss versus Alabama, but kind of similar story. Explosive offense, even after the, Alabama game still looks pretty good. LSU's offense is good as well, but, kind of you just look at the net numbers here. Ole Miss should win this game, quite frankly, is the way it looks like. So.
All right, we will see. I think that is the last one, right?
Yeah, that's the last one. So there's where we stand. So I think there's about 20 picks in there. We'll track those again. See how we do. We'll keep ourselves honest.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, listen, there's only one way to go, and that's to be honest. And when you go ahead and you say this, and I got to tell you, Jeff, is you can't just go by data every single time. You got to go ahead and put some common sense in this and your knowledge of what you think. And that still may not be exactly right. But if you're up at above 50%, you're doing something pretty good right there. So again, 2 weeks in a row, parlay 3, check it out. We'll see what happens this week. But man, there's some games last week. Like I said, that Oklahoma game, that was just in Cincinnati. Should the under was what, 20-6 or 20? I can't remember. It was ridiculous of what they were. So regardless,
really surprising. And if I could just remind people, if they ever want to sign up, get kind of the entire package. We just go through kind of highlights and games, right? We can get these one-pagers for all teams, additional data, get data throughout the week, sign up for individual teams if you want that. www.cover2data.com is where you sign up for that stuff.
Yep, no doubt about it. All right, well, listen, man, we got people that are loving this guide right here. Another information-filled day in the Wolfman Show. Let's go, BTCU. Yeah, man, this is good stuff. Jeff, I appreciate your time, man. Cover2data.com. Go to it, subscribe. You get it on Substack. I got everything that you want. You can get one team. You can get all Power 5 teams. Well, whatever you like, you get the review. You get the preview of the upcoming. I mean, it doesn't stop coming, all the information. So I recommend it, man. Cover2data.com. Get it. If you want to be a winner chicken dinner.
There you go. Appreciate it as always, Wolfman. Go WVU.
All right, man. I'll check in with you on the weekend here, see how we're doing. Take care.
All right. Good. Appreciate it.
All right. And, of course, there you go, man. Jeff Davies, Cover2 Data. Remember, it's cover2data.com. And you subscribe and you get that Substack. And I have it right here on my my phone. It just comes right in, and it stacks right there on the Substack. And it's like the coolest thing, man. And so I just get all this Cover2. It's Cover2 data. It's Cover2 Big 12, SEC, ACC, and so on. And then you also get individuals and how they're performing. So you can actually go ahead and look at that. But I tell you, I wish that he had that going for the NFL and the fantasy. Boy, that would probably kick out pretty darn good there. How about this Mike Rollins right here? On the road driving. On the way you're driving, Mike, you should be watching the show here, but now we can't have you doing that. But on the road driving, you'll give your accurate prediction. You're saying Mike Rollins 24, WVU, TCU 19. So you're taking the points. WVU and the points. How about this, Timothy Green? 24-21 Mountaineers. All right, not bad. Anybody else here? Oh, what do we got here? I got to put that up just because it's cool. It's a cool comment. I appreciate it. What's up to the Wolfman's Call Network? I mean, giving you those numbers. If you're into it, man, if you like to go ahead and you want to have the knowledge and the teams that should be winning, go ahead and just check it out for yourself. I'm not telling you, don't trust me, don't trust Jeff. Go ahead and check it out for yourself and see if that works for you. I keep showing you every week. Parlay 3, and I'm going. Now listen, I got to tell you, I'm going with what it looks like the good ones, right? Up there on the line, and it's the coolest thing. All right, here we go. TCU, what we got to talk about, right? TCU, let's go right to the notes starting off here. And let me just get this right on up. We're going to go faster this now. Again, Kevin Koken is ill. We wish you get better, Koken. I bet you're watching this right now, man. But man, when he can't get out of bed, I'll tell you what, man, that's tough. I was sick a couple of weeks ago, man. I was, I understand the pain. Of it all. Here we go. Check this out. Blow it on up. And let's see here. There you go, right here. Okay, so what we're looking at here now, you got TCU Horned Frogs. Sonny Dykes is the head coach. You heard Neil Brown talk earlier about Sonny Dykes was coaching him when he played at Kentucky. He's been around, been in the system, coming around all those coaches together. They got I can tell you what, they got Kendall Briles there. Remember Art Briles, the head coach at Baylor, when Baylor came out and started making all that hay. And, I don't care about what all went down there. That's not what I'm concerned about. They were an effective team. That Baylor came out, they were doing things that nobody was doing. And Kendall Briles was a part of his pop's success at that. So, again, Sonny Dykes, he's 3-1, 1-0, Big 12. His record, second year. Obviously, you know what they did for the national drive last year. Let's go ahead and continue. And a couple of things that I did want to show here is that WVU's defense permitting about 110 yards per game on the ground. That's 38th nationally. But what's really cool is West Virginia is ranked number 1, and you can see it right there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. 5 down right there. And they're number 1 in the Big 12, and they're ranked 6th nationally in third down defense, allowing opponents to convert only on 25% of their attempts, only on 14 of 56. It's going to be big when you see the video and the film. All right, Mountaineers are number 2 in the Big 12, and number 7 nationally in punt return defense. I'm telling you, this special teams are making a difference. Oliver Straw, yeah, man, down under there, Ollie, right? Good job. Love the hang time. Love the hang time. WVU's offense. How about this? As many times as WVU runs the ball, the offense has allowed only 4 tackles for loss per game. Whoa, that's 24 for a fewest amount of TFLs. I mean, that's a big step up. I said it last week that Neil Brown, the things you're looking at for him as a coach, is there more discipline in the team? Yeah, fewer penalties, right? Are there, because he talked about the leverage of under and leverage of inside out, right? Over under. And then you talk about this where, you're giving up, you're blocking better, bringing it together, especially when you're a heavy running team and your TFLs are down. That's pretty cool. WVU is ranked number 14 nationally in fewest penalties per game, averaging four penalties. Wow, I mean that's a huge. I mean, they're not coming out and calling timeouts out of a TV timeout. I mean, they're so much better looking on the sideline, game management, all that. I'm not sure what they're doing, but somebody under Neil Brown, the head coach, is getting it done, and that is pretty good. And those players are going ahead and getting in that as well. Preston Fox, I got to say this, the special teams, averaging 11.7 yards of punt return yardage, ranking number 14 nationally. He had a career best 20 yards against Texas Tech. So, again, Preston Fox making a difference, because I'll tell you, that punt return has never been good for Neil Brown. In fact, what we all know has never been good for Dana Holgerson. I don't think our punt return has ever been good in the Big 12. I think that's a safe statement. It was so bad at one time that Dana sent nobody back there. All right, so that's got to be better. Mountaineers are giving up 18.5 points per game, ranking 33rd nationally. That's pretty good. All right, what else do we want to look at here? Real quick, I'm just going to go right past this, blow by it. Let's take a look right here. Let's go nationally right here, and let's take a look. And when I see that, it's scoring offense. All right, 27 points WVU, 38 for TCU. That makes them 23rd. Okay, scoring defense. All right, TCU is 47th in the country. All right, they're giving up 20 points. West Virginia the 33rd. Not bad, right? Pretty good. We all know about their defense right now. Rushing offense, 190 right there. When you go ahead and up it. Round up, rushing offense 190. That's 40th in the country. Where TCU, they're 19th. 19th. Who would have thought Sonny Dykes and Kendall Briles would go ahead and be there 208 yards, right? Rushing defense. And you look at this. Now, they're giving up 109 WVU, 110. That's 38. Not bad. But 85 yards, man. All right, so here you go. WVU's offense, right? Going ahead and trying to 190 yards rushing against 85. Who's going to win that matchup? These are the key things you got to look at in the trenches right there. And when you go ahead and you look at, I want you to see this red zone offense, right? Right now, you got TCU. They've had some turnovers in the offense. I'm going to show you on the film as well. But right now, 107 in the country at 73, 74%, and rounding up again. Then you look at their red zone defense. Now, they flipped that. Now, they're 107 on offense in the red zone, but they're 27. But they're 107 on offense. But remember, they're scoring 38 points a game, too. They scored 42 against Colorado, but they gave up 45, right? And if you go ahead and you look at anything else, opponent third down, I told you about that. The defense converting at West Virginia is right there. Sacks by, all right? Look at this here. Now, sacks by, TCU is fourth in the country. All right, they're third in the country. So, West Virginia's 86 at 1.75, so they need to pick that up. And again, looking at TCU, they're 29th in the country by sacks given up at 1.25. You're going to see that the quarterback, Chandler Morris, is a very active quarterback. All right, that's good. Just keep it moving, man. Keep it moving because that's what we're going to do. All right, I just want to point out 15 true freshmen have played for the Mountaineers in 2003. And you can look at Ben Cutter. Boy, I like him. Rodney Gallagher, I like him. All these young guys, right? It is beneficial if they stay, right? When you see all these Jaheim White, Traylon Rays, and out there, and then you have 16 redshirt freshmen, mostly on special teams, both of these, but you're seeing that there's a lot of youth to it. Key is this: can you stay in between the seasons so that the transfer portal doesn't hit you, right? Okay, but showing that they're okay. So let's go ahead and let's go to the TCU quick. We'll go up to that board real quick, and let me pull that up for you. All right, there we go. Now let's take a look at. This is what I want to take a look at their players, okay? And then we'll get right into the film. Chandler Morris, right? Chandler Morris, 69% completion percentage. On pace to set TCU record. He's got a career high 3D passes against SMU, about 280 yards per game. He's got 9 touchdowns, and he's got 3 interceptions. They've had red zone woes, though, with turnovers. And that's what they wanted to improve on, and they actually did against SMU. Now, Imani Bailey, what can I say? He's 5'9", 207-pound junior. He topped 100 yards in 3 of his 4 games. He had 126 yards versus SMU. And right now, he's averaging 6 yards per carry. Last year, he was averaged, and we had those 2 NFL. Now, you remember Steven Johnson, Steven Johnson yesterday really did a great job of breaking down the Horned Frogs. I'm going to take that excerpt out of the show from yesterday and go ahead and bring that in there to watch that. And then we go ahead here and let's continue on. Imani Bailey, 6 yards. Hey, first 2 seasons he played in Louisiana. I don't know if many people know that, but I thought that was interesting. And then, of course, you go to Trey Sanders down there. He's got 3 TDs, a TCU debut. He's a transfer from Alabama, so he was the number 1 running back coming out of high school. So he's got 6 yards per rush. And by the way, Chandler Morris is also the quarterback, is number 2 attempts, and he's averaging 6 yards. So then you got Jared Wiley, the tight end, 6'7", 260 senior, played 3 seasons at Texas, and he's a dude. He's Cole Taylor. And he had 2 TDs against SMU where they were going man coverage, lit him up. This is going to be a serious thing. He's tied for the lead with Richardson, J.P. Richardson, at 14 receptions each. And he's leading the team in touchdowns with 3. That's Jared Wiley. And don't forget about Chase Curtis, 81, because he does some good stuff in the SMU game. He had a touchdown. He had some catches there. 6'5", 235 senior again. And he had 5 receptions entering the season with a career. So there he goes. He comes from community college. Really looking pretty nice as the number 2 tight end. J.P. Richardson's tied with Jared Wiley, the tight end, for TCU with 14 catches. He had 6 receptions versus Houston, Colorado. TD against OSU for TCU 22. All right, enough of that. But he's dangerous. He's dangerous, and you're going to see that on film. And then you go look. Now, here's the thing about the receivers. You say JoJo Earl, Jack Beck, Major Everhart, and then you look at Savion Williams, Jalen Robinson. These guys are players, and DJ Allen, and then Dylan Wright, all that. Warren Thompson. These guys are all. In fact, they have 16 receivers with 2 or more receptions. They have over 10 receivers with 5 or more 11 receivers with 5 or more receptions, and they have close to 5. They have double-digit figures: 14, 14. 11, 12, and 11, and then they have a 9 guy there. So, again, all these receivers getting different touches. That's what you get here. Let's move to the defense here. You can see why they are putting up points on offense. All right, defensively. Now, we got to go to number 4 guy right here. This is a big deal. So, defense, Paul Wiley. He's 6'4", 275. He's got 3 sacks. And this defensive line, 275, 320, 315. Here's the thing. Damianic Williams, the nose guard, 6'2", 320. He's preseason all Big 12. In his career, he started all 19 games. He's got 12 stops, 2 sacks. I'm going to tell you this. Dude, when you run a 3-3-5 defense, the nose guard, remember Chris Neal, remember Keelan Dykes, those nose guards have to be something really special. And this guy here is really special, Williams. And Zach Frazier, but it's not just Zach Frazier. It's going to be the 2 guards, Brandon Yates and Tomas Remak. They got to have good games because the nose guard is really key, especially in the run game. It's got to be key for that interior inside zone thing. All right, so Williams is good. You see Fox here, 6'3", 315. You look at they go 3. They're just 3 defensive linemen, and then they go strong backer, Mike backer, weak backer. Johnny Hodges right there, 6'2", 240. He came. I think he came for the military there last year. I'm pretty sure he was second in TCU with 21 stops, 3 TFLs. You look at number 4 there, Namdi Obiazor, 33 tackles. Right now leads the season. He had 11 tackles against SMU. Number 4, you'll see him on film as well. And then you look at this 6 foot, 6'2". They do have a 5'11" there. Nickel safety, he's the number 2 guy. And you heard that from Steven Johnson as well. When I say nickel safety, number 2, he's the nickel back, kind of like a corner, number 2 corner, I should say that. And then Mark Perry, strong safety, 6 foot, 215. He's 4th on the team, TCU with 18 stops. But I tell you, he is the key because this is what happens, right? I'm going to show this film, but I got to tell you, I got to explain this to you, all right? Because it's so important. They have 5 defensive backs. They got 3 linebackers now and 3 defensive linemen, so they are committed to the box. But you can count those guys when they're in the box and where they're lined up. See, with him, you cannot do it. I'm talking about Mark Perry. When he's in there, he is the key because he can come crashing in, and you can't account for him. So he's the free hitter right there, and it screws up the scheme. So there you go. That's what you have it there. I think that's the key to TCU's defense, stopping the run, the offensive run, and the pass now. But they're giving up, some yardage there. So they're putting out the yards, but they're also giving up some yards as well. Already. Let's see. Let's cruise through on this. You can see Namdi Obiazor. All right, he's got 33 total tackles. Hey, they have 16 sacks now. All right, so they're putting a lot of pressure. They bring it, man. It's difficult. They can bring from anywhere on the defense, and they are going to go ahead. They will play zone against you in the coverage. I'm going to show that to you on the film, and they will go what? Man, they played both. But you know what they do so well? Now, when you say, if they drop or they rush 3 and they drop 8. Yeah, I know. But I'll tell you what, they're giving up. I think, here, let me tell you exactly what they're giving up here. All right, so let's keep going here. Right there. What are they giving up on passing yards allowed? 292. Right? Okay, you know why? Because they're rushing 3. But when they want sacks, they bring more than 3. All right. But what we're going to have to do, the Mountaineers, whether it be Garrett Green or Nico Marchio, is when you go ahead, you got to move that pocket around. These guys are not great on contain. They are not great on contain. And I think that might be a key. All right, let's just get right at it, man. Let's break this film down. I'm tired of these numbers. I'm tired. Let's see. Frank Fair, what do you got here, buddy? Replying to Mike Rouse. Mike has to be lower scoring if we expect to win. All right, that's Frank Fair. He said it got to be lower scoring. defense has got to be up and making sure that this TCU offense is not scoring. I'll tell you what, again, you check out with Steven Johnson tomorrow, the excerpt I'm going to release at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. I'm going to go ahead and re-release that, not the whole show, so you have to go through all the show. I'm going to release just that excerpt with Steven Johnson to break down the Horned Frogs and do that for all you guys there and gals that want to know what TCU is all about, because he did give an excellent, excellent breakdown, and that's important. So, all right, let's go ahead here, and let's get this video up. There we go. All right, so that's cool. And now I want to just go ahead and break this down for you. We're going to move through it fairly quickly, just because I don't want to drag you all down with this, but it's important to know your opponents, because this is the most in-depth breakdown you can. Again, Kevin Koken is not here. He's not feeling well, but he will be back soon as he gets better. But let's take a look here at this offense. This offense is 38 points a game. It's rushing 208 yards per game. So here you go. So it's 169 rushes to 145 pass attempts. All right, so figure out that percentage of what this team does. They run more than they pass, and that is the secret with Kendall Briles, and especially with Imani Bailey, the running back, who's averaging 6 yards per rush. So you can see him here. He's number 9. He's 5'9". He's 207 pounds. He's a redshirt junior. Now, he's leading the Big 12, and he also led the Big 12 last year with 8.2 yards per carry. And what I want to show you here, this is the same play, but look down here. So they got two things going on at once, all right? So they're going to be handing off. He's got choices. This is not run-pass option. This is just a screen built in. West Virginia runs the same thing, but just a screen built in there. So the quarterback, Chandler Murray, he can go either way. And again, I love this running back. He's tough. I just read an article on him. He's a young man that is determined. So the Mountaineers really have their hands full. Imani Bailey, he's 5'9", 207. And you can see against SMU here, he had 126 yards. And he puts his shoulder down and runs. He doesn't run soft. He runs heavy. They will go inside. They will go outside. Kendall Briles. What Steven Johnson said a little bit is that sometimes they think that Kendall Briles gets a little bit too cute. And I'll show you that here in the film as well. But you can see here, offensive line, averaging 6'5", 325 pounds. They got a 6'7" tackle, and they got a big old hoss there at 350 on the guards. But they average about 6'5", 325. They're legit. The lowest, the shortest guy is 6'4", and you can see right there. Look at him dragging 3 dudes, SMU guys, with him. I'm just impressed by Imani Bailey, number 9, the running back. The Mountaineers, if you really want to know if the Mountaineers are improved in their tackling, and although Taj Brooks I thought was pretty special last week, and by the way, he had 150 yards, I think, something like that, a little bit over. So again, he proved that he was pretty special, but so is this guy right here. Now let's look at this third down conversions here, 26 of 58. What they do is they go, and they also go for it on 4th and 1, but I put these two plays together. See, this is what I'm talking about, a little bit too cute. Cute. Go, why are you doing that, Kendall? Man, you got the best running back, or one of them, in the conference, maybe in the country here. 4th down conversions, they're 8 of 14. 8 of 14. They will go for it 14 times, in 4 games? So you figure out the math. And at least 3 times. I mean, it's crazy how many teams are all going for it now. There's all these going by with the numbers, man. But I don't mind it down there, 4th and 1. I think you still go straight ahead, but they got it there. But they're 8 of 14, and you saw they were on 3rd down conversions as offense. Now, Chandler Morris, 29 attempts for rushing, 206 yards, 6.3 yards per carry. That's number 2 on the team for attempts. So you're going to see him here. He's going to pull the ball. He's not bad, right? I mean, look at him. He can run the ball. He looks good. He's got some juice to him. He picks the legs up. He knows how to do the read zone. And he's second on the team in rushes, so he's not afraid to pull that ball. West Virginia has to commit a defender to the quarterback. Has to, or he'll eat you up. Okay, Jalen Robinson, number 13. They call him Flash. I thought it was interesting. He's fourth on the team in receptions. He's got 11, but he's been at OU, UCF, Ole Miss. He's from Fort Worth, too. But watch it. Do you see this motion and shift right here? Okay, let's then go hyper fast. So West Virginia, when I talked about that alignment, Neil Brown, we talked about discipline and getting lined up, and Texas Tech, they were able to do so. And it's going to be even more so here in an unfriendly territory now. Remember that. Unfriendly territory, so you're going to have to really be sharp. Again, this game is going to point out how good this defense really is. Is it really real? Is it, hey, let's find out, but the only way to find out is go play it, man. Go Mountaineers. Good. I'm fired up. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to go with our believing in our young guys and that they're going to make it a game for sure. But I thought you can see this. Always a trick play with Kendall Briles. Always, always, always. You see here, Jalen Robinson once again. All right, I'm sorry. That's just a repeat. But I did want you to see they're going to do a lot of motioning. They're going to do a lot of or not a lot, but they're going to do some trick plays, and they're going to do some shifting, right? Like you just saw right there, just like West Virginia. And I think it's smart. I think, and the more shifting you can do, motion is cool if you want to find out, what motion is cool, whether you want to find out whether it's man coverage or zone coverage, but shifting really will drive the defense wild if you're moving fast. Really drive the defense wild. Okay, right there you can see he can be stopped as a TFL right there on Imani Bailey. I threw that in there because it can happen. Just because it hasn't happened a lot doesn't mean it can't. Let's go right to the passing. Right? 293 passing yards a game is what they're averaging. 169 attempts thus far. And number 7, Richardson, he's tied for lead with 14. Did I say worth? My typing is not good today. All right. So there you go. And no, I don't let anybody else break down my film because I got to be the one to show you the film. I break all my film down and I do all my typing so I can show you exactly. Watch here, Richardson. He goes ahead. They put up 280 yards, 290 yards a game. And you can see right there's Richardson is tied with 14 receptions. We got about 190 yards in the season, averaging about 13 yards per reception. And you can see right here, you're going to see that he's going to roll out of the pocket. He's not afraid to do so. Again, I see him as a totally dual threat quarterback. The arm didn't look as strong there, but it was a completion. And Richardson is going to get behind you. And that's something that they're looking forward to as well. I see this again. Receivers. You have all these receivers with a couple catches, 5 receivers with double-digit receptions. Actually, it's 4, but one has 9. And then you have 16 receivers with 2 or more 16 and 11 with 5 or more. So they like to spread the ball around. Not when they run so much. They don't spread the ball around. They got 2 main guys, and it's impressive right here. Again, though, 69% completion percentage. That means they're throwing a lot of screens as well. But 69% completion percentage. Very good. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's see, 3rd and 14. All right, here. Now they pick up blitz 6. So this is 3rd and 14. All right. They pick up 6 blitz, 3rd down defense, WV number 1, right? Big 12, number 6 nationally. Here's the battle right here. Not that secondary is going to play soft like it did against Duquesne and Penn State, but if they play against like they did against Pitt and Texas Tech, yeah, man, now you're cooking with some chicken wing grease, man. Good stuff, right? Good stuff to cook with. And you see it here. Watch them pick up, so they can pick up a 6-man blitz, right? That's what I'm trying to show you, okay? And the receivers can catch it, and that was flash right there. The guy who's been to 3. I tell you what, it must be great to go to 4 different Power 5 schools and play. I think kind of fascinating in its own way. Not as cool as being at 1 and being there loyal for the rest of your life and loving it. I mean, I'm not to say they're not loyal to their schools, but I mean, I wouldn't know who to root for. All right. Okay, here we go. Red zone, man. 107th in the nation. They left points out there. Sonny Dykes talked about 4 turnovers in there, and it was a big deal. So, again, when you look at it here coming out, you got to look at that. You see it right there. Jared Wiley, man, making the catch. And the tight end, he's 6'7", 260. He's impressive right there. Horned Frogs, Jared Wiley. Hey, he's from Texas. Or not is he from Texas? He played at Texas for 3 years. But check him out right up top here. You see him. He's going one-on-one with the DB. And he's acting like he's blocking. And then he's going right there. Oh, yeah. That's right. Hey, Cole Taylor could do that. Cole Taylor could do. That's a design right there. He went and designed like he was going to go block for that swing pass for the running back. All right. And then he broke it down. He's going to block it. The DB breaks down because that's a big dude, 6'7", 260. And then what do they do? He cuts in, man. Easy touchdown. Cole Taylor could do that for sure. Right. There you go. 6'7", Jared Wiley, 260, number 19. Remember that, all right? Tied with C.J. Richardson over there, 14 receptions. Red Zone 2, he had 2 TDs and 5 receptions versus SMU. He's really coming on, and so is Chandler Moore, so they're really finding a connection. I think that's what our quarterbacks need to do, Garrett Green, Nico Morgan, really come out with Cole Taylor. I thought it was kind of a neat comparison right there. And you can see here, he's just getting a touchdown. We see now with Cole Taylor. He's looking good. I mean, that's just a good play. Good red zone. Use the big man. Use the big man. It's easy, and they are long. The passes don't have to be perfect passes because they got long arms. What did I say? Cole Taylor right there. Here we go. 3rd and 3. Look who it is right there. That's what I want to see more of Cole Taylor do as well. Because I know he gets great passes on the side. I think right there, choice, routes, Y option. If he's on the inside, you go outside. Defender's on the outside, you go inside, right? I want to see more of that. I think that can help the quarterbacks if they can actually get it through that progression, being in the pocket there. Moving pockets different. There you go. Watch right here. You see that again. He throws baseball style, Chandler. I mean, this guy can throw it all kinds. I think he's really dangerous. I do like him. I think he had a little bit of a rough start, but I think he's coming around. Now, here's the second tight end, Chase Curtis, 6'5", 235. Watch the delay out of the line here. You're going to see him come out 81. There he is right there. You see the delay, and he's right there. Oh, you sneaky dogs. Sneaky dogs, man, right? But look at him run. Listen, this is number 2 option right here. This is not bad. You see him. Okay, the roll. Again, watch him move their pocket. This is good football. This is good play calling. This is good coaching. Moving that pocket around so no one gets a bead on you. All right? It doesn't have to be. You can drop back. You can have a good number of drop backs, but just not all the time. You just got to keep that pocket moving and keeping them guessing. Again, watch this here. What's he doing? He's still rolling out the pocket, and he's finding Chase Turner right there. Look at this. Wow, man. And he's going to take it for his first touchdown in his career. Yeah, you betcha he is fired up right there. He looks it, right? Watch him here at the bottom of the screen. He's acting like he's blocking, and then all of a sudden, it's a release. They're good at these tight ends are pretty good actors, right? Pretty good actors. So I'm seeing it, and I'm checking it out, man. And what's next here? Keep it going, keep it running. Oh, buys time, extends plays. How about this? Chandler Morris. Watch him. This is what he's good at. Okay, pocket there, it's collapsing, but he waited. Did you see that he waited over 3 seconds? Then he went through his progression, but then he runs. Good job by the offensive line and that blocking right there. But again, he finds his open receiver, and he makes it. Buys time, extends plays with his legs. And this is really slow motion right here. But I want you to see this. Again, the offensive line, got to put pressure there. But he waited. He wanted to throw it, and he didn't throw it. He held on. He made a proper decision, and he got outside for that. I thought that was really important right off the bat there. And let's see, what do we got? We're almost done here on offense. Let's break it down. And there you go. Always throwing that right there. That's what they do. They trap it. That's an RPO. They trap the player. They're going to pick that player, linebacker or safety, and they're going to play off of it. You make it move one way, and we're going to do this. So you go that way, we're going to do it over here. So, again, that is right there. You're going to have to be ready for these RPOs. Check it out. Watch it and see. They didn't make this play work, but, it's something that you have to check it out and see. Very good. Okay, we're going to move the defense right now. There we go. All right, the 3-3-5 defense, giving up 85 yards a game, rushing. That's 16th best in the country. Look at the 3-3-5 now. Check it out. 3 defensive linemen. You got 3 linebackers, and then you got this 5 here in the blanket, as I call them. And you're going to see this. This is what they did now. They're giving up. Let's see here. Look, we got the quick pitch here, but watch them chase it down. They are tough against the run. I think where you really can hurt them is in passing downs, where you can go ahead and you can get outside that contain. Okay, get outside that contain, I think, is a good thing that can happen. And let's keep this moving. Again, watch the nose guard, not so much here because it's outside run. But wait till you see Williams there at the nose guard. He's tough as nails. And we'll keep going here. All right. And this is a touchdown. Now, they're giving up 20 points per game. It's like for 47th good in the nation. Yeah, 20 points per game. You can see here they will do it in short yardage. They don't have still too many defensive linemen. They still go with that 3 defensive linemen look. Okay, the red zone. Now on defense, they're 107th on offense. Now on defense, they're 27th in the country. And so you look at this defense, they are stingy. You can see the players that rush up. They are attackers. But I thought this was a nice play by SMU right here. I thought they attacked the perimeter pretty good. And I think you can do, if you can beat those backers and get a blocker out there in those backers, say a Cole Taylor or a Traylon Davis coming around. You know that motion I'm talking about, coming around and trying to get those one of the edge backer, whether it be the Sam or the Will, strong or weak backer, get that edge. You can definitely, they don't play contain with the defensive linemen, that's for sure. So they play contain with their backers. And right here, this guy, number 4, Namdi Obizar, 33 tackles, leads team. I think he's just tough. I think he's tough. He's number 4. You can see him down here at the bottom. And check it out. He's tough, and he's running. And TFL, man. That's some cool stuff right there. And I think when you look at this here, putting the pressure on, and there he is. He's quick. I mean, these guys are all, 6'3", 230. They like their backers. You got Hodges there. I mean, they just got good players. Now, watch here. You got to take a look here. And the safety, watch him come on up. All right. Now, that's a guy that you can't really account for in the box, right? And so that is going to come into play and when the Mountaineers are trying to run, especially on the inside. Well, not on the inside, I'm sorry, especially on the outside, the perimeter. And when you go ahead, and I think if you really wanted to, you could run up the middle on this team. With this offensive line for the Mountaineers, I think you really could. And let's check it out again. And what do we have there? There you go, keep going. There you go, 2nd and 6. You know what? I think, and I'm going to tell you something else. All right, I really think that they need to go ahead and continue to for the offense. They got to continue to go under the center and quarterback, go in the gun, of course, with the running back to the side, or go in the pistol with the running back behind. Mix those up. It is so difficult timing-wise for defenses. And I love what Neil's doing with that. I love it. I've been saying it for a couple of years, and I'm not saying he's listening to me or whatever, but I mean, yeah, he's listening to me. All right. And he's brought the tight end into the game, and now they're starting to really move the pocket. So I like where he's taken this offense. And even though it hasn't produced a huge results yet, it's produced good enough results to win the game. Let's just continue on through here. And right here. Now look at this right here. Okay, so watch this. Now watch, I got 3 defenders out defending the trips bunch out there. And you can see here, and this is what's going to happen is, you know what? This is 3rd and 3. Now, where's the outside contain? Where's that to come up, all right? Because you watch the defensive lineman. Who has got this now? Because you got a safety, you got the strong backer. I mean, it's all over the place. Again, they're not playing it. You can't play this guy. Well, what's he doing? He's in no man's land. Am I out here playing these dudes, or am I in here playing these dudes right here? All right, that's where you got to take advantage of it, and you can run right at that. And if they're going to play that, woo, man, You know, come in at RPO, man. RPO. I take this RPO right off the bat. I'd be RPOing out here. If they're going to defend right there like that, like I showed you before what West Virginia's done, I would go ahead and RPO it, man. All right? Get out there. Get the ball out here. You got 3-on-1. These guys are 10, 12 yards off the ball. 10 or 12 yards off the ball. It's 3rd and 3. These guys are 12 yards off the ball. Right? Now, this is not bad either here because they got 4 in the box. 4 in the box. I mean, take your pick. Take your pick. I don't care. I go with it, but you can see this here. You know, this guy is not going to make the play there before the first down. He's not going to do it. I told you that. They try to play out in no man's land, either straddle the box or not straddle the box. But what do? They come in, they got a tackle from the side, east and west tackles instead of having north and south tackles. Okay? I made my points, and I'm going to keep making them all on because they're that important. 16 sacks. This is what they do. All right, you're going to see right off the bat, he's going to come rushing in, and these guys come out. So what they do is they don't play with the defensive lineman and outside contain. So you got to be able to take advantage of this and figure it out because these guys are pushing it there. You gotta attack the perimeter so that you keep them honest. You have to, right? And they will put the pressure on there. They'll bring the backers, and it's also a little bit of a delay, but yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. They will put pressure on you. But if they can beat you with their 3 defensive linemen putting pressure on our offensive line, then shame on Zach Frazier and company. Shame. Right? RPO this, man. RPO. I can't remember why I put the flash. Oh, there's the flashing lights there. Look at this box. Oh, my. Oh, my. What is that? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 6 with the running back here. You got to spread out. This looks like our Browns offense to begin with right here for SMU. It's going out to almost to the numbers. And look at this box. Oh, spread that out. Give me 3rd and 4, man. I'm going to run that ball. Well, I may not be even passing. Why not run that ball? It's wide open. You have 3 dudes there. 3. RPO. That's what I'm saying, man. Garrett Green, Nico Marchio. Right? If you can't get 4 yards, if they're going to give that up in the red zone like that, come on, man. Come on, take it. RPO, take advantage. Like, there's no contain right here in the defensive line. There's none. 0. Zip. All right? And they're going to spread these backers out like this? Oh, man. That's you know what that is? Heck, I'll tell you what I'd do, man. I'd go ahead and hand that ball to that running back, or I'd follow that running back. You know, let the running back be the lead blocker. Right? Use that up so you have 7 dudes in the box right there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. He's back 12 yards and 11 yards, so he's not nothing. Again, you got right here, call quarterback keep with the lead blocker and the running back. You know, that's what you need to do. Spread them out, man. You're going to put 3 over here on 2 and 2 and 2 here, and this guy way back here. And he's in no man's land. He's in no man's land, right? No man's land. Attack right there. They're going to drop back and throw the ball through. Now, listen. All right, so quarterback, run the ball. If there's nobody's open because they do a nice job of covering everything here, right? They got you covered because they're dropping 8. Come on, man. Be an athlete. Do something. Oh, my gosh. You're not going to get pressure on you that way. And I think that West Virginia quarterbacks, and there you go. He is running the ball. But, hey, they give you that. Garrett, hey, Nico, they give you that every single time. Every single time. All right, and that's it. Very good. That's not it. All right. Oh, I wanted to show you this here. So they actually brought 4 here because they're going to bring them back here. And this is how they delay this here and get rushed. But look at all this coverage here. They're really good in the zone. They really do a nice job covering that zone. If the receiver enters, watch it. They go ahead and they jump on it. And I did want to show this to you because I thought it was good. Look at it. They're all right there. They're good. They will go man coverage too now. They will go man. And right here, you see it. We got to run that again. Yeah, let's go. Let's move it on up. Move it on up. There you go. Putting pressure on the quarterback with the delay. Now, I got this Sandy is 30 years old, Australian. I like Ali Straw. That's my guy, but this guy's pretty good too. And this is why he's pretty good. I put this in here. Special teams are going to be important. Oh, did I take it out? What did I do? What did I do, man? Oh. All right. I guess I screwed it up. That's why I said I do my own film, because I have to do my own film, because that way, if I don't do my own film, man, then what happens? I don't know exactly what I'm talking about, because you got to be able to look at it yourself and say, all right, I can't have anyone else do it. I have to break it down, and that's why you get this expertise. All right, so here we go. What do we got here? Play Mike Rounds. Mike Rounds has to be lower scoring. There you go. See you Monday, Wolfman. What'd you leave me out there, Tim? All right. Out there. Let's see here. We're playing. Playing Mike Rounds. Frank Fair, you're probably right, but I just don't think that TCU has played a physical team yet this year. I've just got this feeling that our defense is going to put some points on the board. TCU quarterback has thrown several. I'm going to take that as interceptions. Although I can't see where it ends. Several interceptions this year is where it says. All right. Here you go. So now you have it, right? I don't want to keep holding you on here for all this stuff, but now you got the film. The film is done. Listen, you got Steven Johnson yesterday talking about TCU. He went down offense, defense, special teams, right? And he told you exactly what their offensive scheme is, and not exactly, pretty descriptive of their offensive scheme, defensive scheme. And I thought he did a really nice professional job. Again, I'm going to release that excerpt tomorrow, 10 a.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to go ahead, and so you can go ahead and listen to what he says about, he's a beat writer for TCU, and he knew his team, just like Don Williams did last week against Texas Tech. These beat writers, man, they know these teams, and so I'm still digging it. All right, you're still here, Timothy. All right, man, that's cool. Well, listen, all right, so WV, you got to be able to run this ball. If you can't run this ball, you got some real troubles on offense. I mean, so again, what I'm saying, I don't know if Garrett Green's going to play. How limited is he? I hope that Garrett Green is not going to go ahead and start if he's not full go, because you can't tell me that Garrett Green at 80%, 70% of what his best asset is of running is not there full go, because you see Nico, and Nico can run. And Nico's a big target, and Nico can also throw. So I hope that is, maybe they'll play them both. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. I will say is that they have created a plan in the last few weeks good enough to win the ball games. So that's what you have to believe in on that if you're a Mountaineer fan. When I look at this offensively, you got to be able to run the ball. You have to be able to, the quarterbacks are going to have to be able to run as well, because that defense line, they don't have that contained. You got to press the edges. You got to press the perimeter. You got to put those DBs in their dropbacks in conflict with each other about, is there run or is it pass? Let's say in conflict with, not with each other, excuse me, in conflict with the ball. Should I come up and try to tackle the quarterback, or do I stay in coverage for any receivers coming over into my zone? And that's the key. So you have to be able to move the pocket. You have to be able to run the ball offensively. And it sure would be nice to see some receivers. Carter, just like Penn State, 6 catches. Let's get you involved early in the game. Let's get you into it. Let's let you feel it. Any of the other receivers, Bram, want to join in, please feel free to join in. All right, because we need some help, receivers. Whatever quarterback it is, we need help catching the ball. All right, that's the big thing. On defense, we're going to find out, are they real? I mean, they've got great numbers, man. Number 1 in the Big 12, number 6 nationally, and third down, getting off the field. Boy, I tell you what, that's huge. After 4 games, yeah, man. I'm digging that. I'm picking that up. Picking up what they're putting down. But I'm going to really pick it up and tell you the truth. TCU, this offensive game, again, I'm not sure Texas Tech gave the best they had on offense to this defense. I'm not sure. Maybe they did. But maybe they didn't. Maybe the quarterback going down, maybe with the Cole, the drop, all the drop passes that was there at both sides, really. But maybe then. So this week, I want to say this offense put up 500 yards, 30. What did I say? 38 points per game. 500 yards, 38 points per game. Putting up this defense, we're gonna know. And pretty much on third down conversions, this offense is about 50%, close to it, right? A little bit 40 something, but it's pretty good. So this is a real big test. Now, red zone, they've had some issues until SMU. They had issues, and then they had 2 interceptions. They left it, so maybe they're leaving a little bit nervous there. But again, stop the run on defense. You have to stop the run. DBs, if West Virginia DBs, if you're going to go ahead and do this, you have to play aggressive. You cannot go ahead. They have not been burning people deep. Where they have been burning people is the intermediate routes. Right? They have not done a whole ton of long balls, and they have not been successful. I don't know if they actually have receivers that had that speed. We heard Steven Johnson said that they'd like to see that, but it's they're not killing it. So play aggressive, play intent, play focus, get it going, man. This is your chance. You're 3-1, 3-1. Everybody had you not being 3-1. All right, not everybody. The believers had you being a 3-1, maybe 4-0. All right, I thought you would struggle more in this. And I'm surprised you beat Texas Tech. All right, I thought it'd be a close game, but with all that, you got it done. That's cool. I've never ever rooted against WVU, nor have I ever taken that WVU. But I will say this: I am a little surprised. But now comes the truth. All right. And as I said on the Pigskin Stew Radio, is that when it's not even just rubber meets the road. Okay, this is a truth definer. This defense, all right, this offense is putting up 280 yards passing. They can pass the ball. Again, not doing those deep balls, but he's 69% completion percentage of quarterback. 69. All right, that's big. And that also means that they're running screens and swing passes and routes like that. But they're also doing some tight end stuff that's pretty cool as well, and being successful. And you have to go ahead. You have to control Chandler Moore's running game. And I'm talking about not just him pulling the ball in a read zone. I'm talking about him putting pressure on him, finishing the sack or finishing the pressure or driving him out of the ball, whatever it is, containment, making sure he doesn't run the ball because he can keep plays alive with his legs. He's an athlete. He's a dual threat quarterback. And with that all being said, and it's 11 points, and we already went through cover 2 data with Jeff Davies today. And I have to tell you that if 11 points, that's a lot of points, man, for going to a team that Colorado, SMU, but they had some other ones, was it Houston, 11 points. I got to tell you what, I'm going to go with WVU. And I'm not going to call the points. The crystal ball is not working today. But I'm going to say WVU within 11 for the cover 2 data. And what does my heart say? My heart says this. It's going to be 17-14 WVU. That's what my heart says. Cover 2 data, I'm taking the 11. If you understand what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. But my heart says 17. If they don't shut this offense down, it's gonna spell trouble. It's gonna spell trouble because why would it not? Because the receivers haven't proven anything yet. Haven't. Cole Taylor has, yes, but he needs to be targeted 10 times. 10 times he needs to be targeted. 8 times minimum. Right? He needs to be targeted. How about 3-4 plays designed just for him? Right? Let's sit there. Yeah, the run back. Yes, you can run the ball, but you also might have a quarterback that is going to be a little protective of his ankle. All right? Or you got Nico there, one or the other. But regardless, is that you have to be able to show that you can throw the ball. And this defense, if it's for real, If it's for real. If it's not this Penn State thing and giving up 10 yards of just playing soft and cushioned crap. I hate that crap. I hate it. Why even play the game if you're not going to compete and challenge, right? Instead of just giving, say, yeah, just go ahead and take that. That's free. That's garbage yards. No, you got to compete, man. Compete. So challenge. And that's the fun of the game. That's competition's the whole name of the game. Right? Right? Yes, it is. So with all that being said, man, get up there and fight and play hard. And Zach Frazier, man, I'll tell you something. Best center in the country. Take your offense, man, and this is the time. This is the crucial time. If you could win this game and go 4-1 heading into the bye, man, then Neil Brown was right when he said, if we want to be contenders for this league, contenders. Because a couple of weeks ago, you were talking about being pretenders, number 14th in the league, right? But now you're talking about being a contender. Now, we'll see this weekend if you're a contender or not, WVU. And I sure as heck hope you are. This is your time. This is your chance. Your chance to prove most of America wrong. And West Virginia's done it before. Yeah, we all know what we're talking about. West Virginia's done it before, and they can do it again. But this is the time. Let's go, Mountaineers. Let's get it done. Away, on the road. No pressure, man. Just go out and fly around and have fun playing. Big Mike Lockhart on defense. Man, dig what you're doing, man. Dig what you're doing. Keep playing hard like that. Eddie Vestinarian, man. Dude, don't slow down. I know you won't because you never have. And, of course, Sean Martin doing big things out there defensively. Lee Colba, the dude, all right? Play hard. Keep that defense really fired up. Beanie Bishop, keep that secondary going. And Aubrey Burks, man. I like when you come up and you support that run and you're doing some good tackling there, open field tackling. You got to have good open field tackling because Imani Bailey will kill you if you don't. And getting 150 yards rushing you against you like last week with Taj Brooks is not going to spell a victory, in my opinion, for the Mountaineers. All right, if Imani Bailey has a night or like that, a running game, it's not going to be good for the Mountaineers, and because they're going to add another 250, 300 yards passing on there as well. So that would not work out well for the defense. So, hey, you went out there 2 years ago. Neil Brown couldn't win any road games 2 years ago, and I remember I was there. I did the post game on the radio. It was a great night, and when I remember Charles Woods, he went up there and got that interception, man. I remember that. It was a big time, and it was a great victory for the Mountaineers. And Zach Frazier had the Frazier flip in the end zone against the linebacker. Okay, let's do network, man. Here we go. Network time. Yep, we do it all the time, and we try to do it every day, but I appreciate my network here, the WolfMan's Call Network, and I hope they're all watching out. And let's start off with a Jar Restaurant and Hotspot reopening today after taking over for the Mason Jar Saloon and Hotspot. So happy the Jar right there, right past the Morgantown Mall on Morgantown Road. And good luck, fellas and gals, and all that right there. And I hope that it's an awesome business experience for you. Here we go. Cantrell's River City Grill and Pub. I shared the seafood, the crab legs today. Oh, man. Hey, save me some down there at Cantrell's in Hinton, West Virginia. They got Danny's Bar down there in Princeton. Some of the most loyal WVU fans I see. I know. It's amazing. And you got Jimbo's Place, obviously, and Elkins and Buckhannon. Obviously, great Mountaineers themselves. Jimmy Pointer, great food, great wings, great Philly cheesesteak. Then you got Legend Sports Bar out there at Cheat Lake. Aaron Gizzy, my man. And out there, Lakeview Golf Resort. You got the Pitch Sports Bar and Grill in Dunbar. Love the food there. Love the atmosphere. The pitch is really cool there in Dunbar, right by West Virginia State. And then you go to Calacino's. All these places have great atmospheres. All of them. I you know what? I hand-chose these. I hand-picked them, man, because, you know what? I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted them to be a part. Calacino's Pizzeria and Sports Bar down there in Beckley, West Virginia. The hub of Beckley is Calacino's, man. There's no doubt about it. How about in Scott Depot, Taves Valley, the Pallet down there, right? The hub of that is the Pallet. And they do so many cool things. It's so awesome, and it's classy. And then you go to the Mason Jar Barbecue and more in Fairmont. Steve Reese, love the food, man. The brisket. Oh my gosh, right there, he's killing it, cranking it all. And then how about Route 22 Sports Bar in Weirton, West Virginia? Right on. Yeah, you guessed it. Route 22 and all the cool things they got up there. 12 50-inch screen TVs combined. So it's like, I don't even know what that number multiplied is. I'd have to use a calculator, but it's pretty darn big. And shout out to them, and shout out to Mel there at the Tap House in Morgantown, and Kegler Sports Bar and Grille. Royalty, man, all cool. Make sure you go to these places. You got Archies up on East Carson Street in Pittsburgh. Yeah, I love the wings there. Then you got the Brickside Bar and Grill down in Bridgeport. And I don't think I've forgotten anybody. Well, I tell you what, I love the WolfMan's Call Network. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And it's cool. It's really cool to be able to reach out to you and give you some stuff on Mountaineer football. What a week we've had. What a week we've had. You know, we've had Wally Whitby's, Jim Workman in. We had Stephen Johnson in, TCU beat writer. Just some great people we've had. You know, Frank Fear coming in, and he gives just great breakdowns, and he's always good with the numbers. And we did lose Koken today, so hopefully he'll be back in the future here for the game days. And obviously, again, we'll call it. It's the Plants and Davis legal team. It's the game day breakdown before the game. How about this? How about the best center in the country, right? Who's the best center in the country? I think we all know that. And that, of course, has got to be Zach Frazier. Everybody, take care. Have a great day. Let's go Mountaineers. Releasing tomorrow at 10 a.m. the excerpt of the Wolfman's Call from the other day with Stephen Johnson. Breakdown. You can watch that just individually as an excerpt. And anything else, we'll go ahead. Stay Wolfley64. Stay tuned with the tweeting, the Facebooking, right? I'm going to be calling it out all during the game. All righty. I think that's it. All right, everybody. ZF, Zach Frazier. Let's go. Mountaineers.